What's going on, every people? I'm just getting things in order here, doing a sheet music stream tonight. Making sure everything's connected and in order. It looks like things are kind of in order here. I've been like coughing like crazy. I don't have a cold or anything. I just have a stupid throat. But you know, at least there's that. So tonight we're working on the 1928 Villa-Lobos 12 Etudes manuscript. I've actually put this whole manuscript in a few years ago. So the 1928 manuscript is of the 12 etudes. They're very well known for a classical guitar. Etude is, I believe, French or Italian for study. And they're just 12 studies for guitar. They're very popular, very well known. And they were first published in 1953. So quite a bit later than this manuscript. But there's always been problems with them that people were just like, why doesn't this part of the song make any sense? And then a few, I want to say 10, 15 years ago, maybe, I could be wrong on the time frame. Someone found this 1928 manuscript signed by Villa-Lobos, and it answers those questions. It's pretty cool. So this is just now entering the public domain. This 1928 manuscript. This year, it has become public domain. And so I have put this together. And really what I'm doing now is I'm just kind of going through and I'm checking all of the accidentals for those who are not necessarily music theory geeks. An accidental is any time you play a note out of key, even if you do it on purpose. And so like in this here, we're on etude number 4. The key signature has a single sharp on F sharp. This is in E minor. G major. I kind of interpret this one a little more as E minor, but I could see it going either way. That's just because I'm a minor key kind of a person. So anytime we see a sharp or a flat or a natural on here. This is saying this is an accidental. Well, this particular sharp would be an F sharp. This F would be an accidental. It's not in the key. And then this sharp would be putting it back. And then this E flat is out of key. And in this particular 1928 version, and I want to make this, I want to make mine as close to true as possible to how Villa-Lobos did this handwritten thing. He put in a lot of what are known as cautionary accidentals. And that's in a case like this. So this is an E note, and you see there's this little natural on it. Well, this note's already a natural. That's part of the key signature. Back here somewhere, and now I'm not seeing it all of a sudden, Villa-Lobos had used an E flat, I believe, right here. And so this at the next measure, this flat gets canceled out. And so your E would be good again. But what Villa-Lobos did, to be very clear, was the next time he uses an E natural, he puts the natural sign on it. It's easily arguable that cautionary accidentals are not always necessary. Sometimes they really make a lot of sense. But he went very strong on his cautionary accidentals here. And in fact, in this case, he put the cautionary accidental on both of these measures. This one would be unnecessary because he's given us the cautionary here, but nonetheless, he put it there. So I'm just kind of going through and getting those set up. And I did find one mistake. I'd actually had this as a G natural. I noticed that should be a G sharp. So I modified that. And because this is now public domain, I think I'm probably going to put it up on my website. It's not a real hot item. There are not a lot of people looking for, old manuscripts, but this is a very popular piece, and it's cool to have the original workings from the guy, from Villa-Lobos himself. I have not learned all 12 of these. I've performed Etude number 1 quite a lot of times. I've performed Etude 1 in, I would say, the majority of my classical guitar shows. Probably very few where I did not do that. Another E natural he's putting in there. And it's a great piece. Now I feel like, oh, no, that's right. Okay. So basically all I'm doing is I'm just looking at my transcription. I'm looking over at this PDF over here. So this is a PDF on the right hand. The right half here is a PDF of the Villa-Lobos handwritten thing. And this is allegedly available from the Villa-Lobos Museum. There's a really poor copy you can find online, and it's kind of hard to see what's going on with it. And I started with that one, and then I emailed the Villa-Lobos Museum and said, could you send me this? And it says, if you ask for it, we'll give you this. Never got a response. I saw on some forums that a lot of people have tried to do exactly that and met with the same not so great response and didn't get it. So I ended up finding a professor, I think like in Ohio or something, who emailed me a copy of it. He was a really cool guy. Nicholas Seraldo, I believe his name was. We talked for a few minutes, and yeah, he seemed pretty great. And I've got, I picked up he did a recording of all 12 of these. He's very good. Yes, we got G sharp somewhere. Okay, yes, we're getting a natural on that G note. This will probably be like the most boring stream ever, unless you're just like a total classical guitar nerd or something like that. But if anyone is watching, that's what's going on. We're doing classical guitar nerd stuff, and it's awesome. And so I performed number one in my classical guitar shows. I often will perform both number one, etude number one. I'll play Villa-Lobos' Prelude 1, followed immediately by Etude number 1. Really great combination, both in E minor. Works out really nicely. Okay, now what do I got? I got something wrong here. Oops. Da-da-da. Seeing a... Oh, okay, so that's an F sharp. Okay, so he's given the cautionary there. He put so many cautionary accidentals in this, which, like I said, I'm not huge on cautionary accidentals. I generally don't use them in my own work, but I can completely appreciate why they do get used. And I'm also not real good at moving around in this PDF viewer, apparently. All right, so yeah, just measure for measure, just going through here and looking at these things. Now I gotta figure out which measure I'm on. Okay, I'm here. Got the natural there, got the flat there, that's good. Because that's just how exciting I am. And so yeah, one of the really nice things with these more advanced sheet music programs is you can do like all the crazy stuff that these people hand wrote in. So like back on Etude 1, let me get this correct again. So he's got these dotted half notes. We're in 4/4. Got these dotted half notes that just have a tie that goes to nothing, and you know so you can actually adjust these things to to look just like what his intention was, because that would normally go all the way across, and so it's pretty cool what you can do with the sheet music. So I was able to put in all of his details, and his transcriptions here are great because there's just so much information in these. He put in very detailed information about bar chords, finger selection, string selection, and you can see here that I put in also the tablature. And I did have the tablature follow what he put in as, this is where it should be played. But I will probably put this out both with and without tablature on my site so that people have the option. So some people are very against tablature, which I'm not. I think tablature is fantastic, and I'm going to keep using it. Kind of looking at my chats here. It's definitely different being down here, because normally I'm doing my shows, I'm standing back here, and so I've got upper monitors that are kind of made more for my standing position, and that's where my main chats are at, so I'm kind of craning my neck to look up there. Oh, I gotta find all the right, where am I at here? Here we go. Okay. So we're here. That's good. And like editing sheet music is not the most exciting part of doing music, but I really enjoy sheet music. I find sheet music of its own just to be very, very artistic. I've got a big, right, it's right behind you guys. on my wall back there. I got a big sheet music mural made out of some of my own music, and yeah, I think it's just very cool stuff. Okay, I gotta make sure I'm in the right spot again. Da, da, da. Oh, I'm looking at something wrong here. Which for? No, those are just all cautionary accidentals for. Oh, I got this right? Yeah, okay, so we need natural. And we need a sharp. Yep, okay, cool. And then, okay, we got that one in there. Cool. And I will probably never learn all of these. Like I said, I've performed number one a bunch of times, and I know number 7, but I've never gotten that one up to anything that I would be comfortable performing. I think my favorite performance of that one is by Zhu Feiyong, Chinese guitarist. Her guitar technique is beyond reproach, and there's a video of her doing this particular piece that I found on YouTube, and it's just, you watch her playing, it's just like she's still a very emotive player. She's really good all the way around, but you just watch her technique and it's like there's no way to find anything wrong with that. Not gonna do it. It just isn't there. She's excellent. I've also seen her give some master classes, and she's just a very, very nice lady. So that's really cool as well. I was like, that's one of the things I like about Pepe Romero, is he's just such a nice guy. He's a super nice dude. And he's, doing an interview with someone, and he's thanking the interviewer and just being just generally awesome. And he's also just one of the most stunning guitar players. Again, technique just beyond reproach. Oh, it's not like this. This is the kind of thing. So this is an A sharp, and Villa-Lobos has it in here as a B flat. So I'm going to want to correct that. That's the kind of thing I definitely want to get right on this. It makes no difference at all to the playability of it. It makes no difference to the listener, but that is how the guy wrote it. Now, of course, he can't really complain about anything because he's, dead, but still, let's be cool about it. Come on, kids. And this is the kind of stuff, man, that even when I wasn't streaming, I can just sit and do this kind of stuff for hours. I can waste so much time doing well, I don't really consider it a waste of time because it's something I genuinely enjoy doing. I've always said that time you enjoy wasting is not wasted time. I know there are people who would disagree with that, but that's their problem. Okay, well, I feel like I just did something wrong here. Take that back to where it was. Make sure I'm on the correct measure. Yeah, okay, I got something wrong. No. Okay, reorienting myself. Got that, good, okay. I think we're in the right spot now. Got it. The flats and naturals there. He also used yep. Okay, going to a natural there. Now this one, yeah, okay. And this, like I said, I found that one where I had the wrong note in. I thought for a moment there that I may have just found another one of those, but I did not. Man, this measure has got a lot going on, and it basically got to go just bit by bit, check every single one. And that is what excitement is just all about, kids. Okay, we're on the and this it's a little tough on this one particularly. I'm finding it's a little tough to follow where it is in the sheet music. So I'm looking for like these, symbols up above and stuff, and like here, okay, I'm on that 3/4 measure, so I'm on the 3/4 measure here. So that always helps to find that stuff. We got some naturals here. Cautionary accidentals. Good there. Cautionary accidental on the B note here. And there's a few places down further in this thing, I think up around like 8 or 9, number 8 or 9, that I think putting some of these in may mess with the formatting. So we'll have to see what happens when I get there. I don't know if I'll get that far tonight. Okay, good. Yeah, this measure is really busy. And we've got a natural cautionary accidental on the D note. Cool. And as per usual, I am saving this all the time. Because this is definitely the kind of thing where if you do this for 4 hours and don't save it, you will have an electricity failure or a computer shutdown or something. That is pretty much standard. Okay, where are we at? This measure here. So we're back to 4/4. We're right there. Good. All right. Very sharp there. Good with that. Yeah, and this is just how exciting my life really is. Because I do stuff like this quite often. Good. Oh, I just realized I missed. Oh, there's something I missed. He hid those ones real well there. So these little numbers here are finger selection numbers. That's in on your left hand. This is the number, this is the finger that you should use to play this part. And he had a couple of them hidden quite nicely in that measure that I didn't see before. And okay, now where were we? I think I'm here. Yeah, okay, that's that. Good. All right. Getting down to the bottom line here. And I have played all of these, but never enough to actually learn them. And this one, as you can kind of tell here, it's a lot about chords, being able to move chords to various places. And this is great too, the way he used, and this is a very cool thing on guitars and guitar-like instruments, is you can exploit the use of open strings. So here you've got like this chord. Am I playing that right? And we're using those, and then the chord changes. And so the open strings do not change. And it's a really cool kind of juxtaposition of notes. And it can be used very, very well, as Villa-Lobos does, and sometimes can be used quite poorly. I've seen that enough times as well. Okay, where? Oh, I'm looking at the wrong line on here. Okay, let's get reoriented. Okay, that's good. And that, good. Oh, looking nice. Okay, next page, kids. And we're up on this allargando, which I think is meaning to slow down a little bit. What do we got here? Good. This one up over here. Or a tempo. A tempo 1 means you go back, you return to the first tempo mark in the piece. Oh, I'm on the off tempo. Okay. I was looking at the wrong measure again. And then this, you can, so these notes here, this is a quarter note, and this little mark here is saying play this 4 times like 16th note. So you can kind of tell here that even Villa-Lobos, when writing this one out, was like, okay, dude, I'm going too much with this. And because this is an easier way to write this, instead of writing this exact same thing 4 times, you can just say, hey, play it 4 times. So through this part of it, he clearly changed his mind on how to create the piece of work and started giving himself, his hands were getting worn out at this point from writing so much. He's like, no, my hands should be getting worn out from playing guitar, not from writing. And okay, I felt like I was missing something there again, but I think we're good. And as handwritten scores go, this one is pretty nice. He did a pretty good job on it. Okay, putting a C, natural, cautionary. B and the G. And these weren't in here on my original because I didn't have it set up quite the way that it would put them all in. So I just let it kind of default, because these cautionaries go beyond many of the defaults. And I think I had all of the cautionaries turned off at the time that I was originally putting this in. So now I just go through and handle it. What else do we got? This is, oh, okay, that's F sharp, E sharp, got it. And E sharp, if someone out there is a music theory type, but may not be as familiar with it, sometimes the E sharp, an E sharp is an F note, and an F flat is an E note. When we have an F sharp in our key signature, sometimes we will use an E sharp to say, hey, this is being modified up to an F rather than the F sharp being modified down. So basically you're looking at an augmented fifth rather than a minor sixth. This is known as an enharmonic equivalent. And again, to the listener, it makes no difference. But for understanding, it can make a difference. And there are different opinions on how much these things should be used, different types of cautionaries, different types of enharmonic equivalents. And, like I said, in my sheet music, I would not use this level of cautionary accidental. Got nothing against Villa-Lobos doing it, but I find it unnecessary. And even enharmonic equivalents, like if I were writing for musicians, I would probably put an F natural rather than an E sharp, even if my intent is to have an augmented fifth, because reading an E sharp can throw people off. On some of my own sheet music, I do use, sometimes I'm a little more stringent with my enharmonics, but those are also things that I'm never probably going to give to actual musicians. I just play them myself. I guess I'm an actual musician. Depends on how you look at it. Okay, so it's real easy to get lost on your position on these things. So easy. Okay, we're putting the E natural cautionary back in. That's good. And so a lot of times I'm looking at these things, like what this is saying is to do a bar chord at fret 5, a bar chord at fret 4. And that really helps too. And I don't think this necessarily, I think I would probably use different fingering than what he's got listed here. I can appreciate why. So like this, the way this is written, he's calling for a bar on fret 4, and then to use finger 2 here. I think I would end up doing it that way. The classical guitar is a bit bigger. The neck is a larger size, but I would still do that. And in so many cases, you kind of have to take the fingering as suggestive, because fingering on I think pretty much any instrument cannot really be a one-size-fits-all concept, just because we have different sizes of fingers. That's kind of the way it works. All right, so what do we got here? We got, I think I must have Control-Z that or something. Okay, that's good. Also got an E. Okay, we got the natural in there. Oh, that's on the F. Good. A flat and F natural. Good. And again, these, they're quarter notes, but they're all played as 16ths. And then, in certain places like here, he chose to go back to this. I think because this changes on the 8th note rather than the quarter, so he went back to normal there. Wrote it out in full. And that's, as a composer, you just kind of make these decisions about, will this lend the greatest amount of clarity to the person. I used to take saxophone lessons from a guy named Ron Pilcher, who was just super cool guy, super talented, could play tons of instruments. He had like, I don't know, 5,000, music PhDs or something. And I had worked up a thing, and with my guitar teacher, Kevin, who didn't have, he's more like me, he doesn't have an official like college education in music theory, even though he now is a college professor. And so he's, this was many years ago. And so we decided, we should call this A-sharp Mixolydian. And when I talked to Ron Pilcher about it, he was like, oh, I was like, what? So why A-sharp? He's like, we said, we were just talking about it would be better to mess with people. And he's like, well, here's the thing. And, gave me his whole thing about it. And what he said really stuck with me is that, you have no obligation at all to write music that is easy for people to play. But you should feel an obligation to make that music as clear as possible for anyone who's going to play it. So don't make the notation overly complex when you can simplify it. And that really stuck with me as just a really, really good way to look at it. Okay, now I've lost myself here. And like here, this is cool. Villa-Lobos put in all of these things saying this note should be on an open string, because that, there could be potentially other ways to play this. For example, you could put this on fret 9, string 3, and it would be the same notes, but he's going for what I talked about earlier, the exploiting the open strings on the guitar to get a particular sound. And so, yeah, he just put very explicit detail on all of this. And I don't know why he, on his transcript, put circles around these particular fingerings, but I wanted to be as kind of true to his thing as possible on this. So I copied as much of that as I felt I reasonably could. Okay, we got a couple cautionaries here. Good. And it's funny, I go through this whole thing, and like I said, I have played all 12 of these. I've never learned them, and I've only ever gotten one of them performance level. And even if I never get these to performance level, I don't even care. I still like doing this kind of stuff. All right, we're on this measure with the rallentendo. And we got a cautionary on the C note. Oop. Get that as a natural. Yeah, okay, good. He's back to doing his, these are known as tremolo notes. So he's back to using those. Okay, what do we got? Looking good. Looking quite good. And like this is great. So you've got this. Oh no, I was thinking of something else. Don't pay any attention to me. I don't know what I'm talking about. I was thinking there was a C sharp or a B sharp. I don't know what I was thinking, because I have no idea what's going on. It's a great way to live. Good there. And these are really cool pieces of music. They're worth listening to. I wouldn't even be able to remotely play the majority of these right now. In fact, right now I don't even think I would be up to snuff on Etude 1, which I've probably performed that piece over 50 times. But I was fiddling with some classical guitar earlier. My classical chops are not up to snuff right now. I mean, they're just not even anywhere in the ballpark of being up to snuff. Okay, good. This particular one, I think, is probably one of my least favorite of the 12. I do like them all, as far as, to listen to. It's kind of blocky. As an exercise for like an upper intermediate, more advanced guitarist, it would be extremely good. Got a E natural there. Boom. But it's just because it's just so many chords with just straight 16ths almost all the way through. So from that perspective, I would say not one of my favorite, but definitely has value. Okay, that's good. Okay, got it. And losing my spot again. Okay, good there. Good. On this one, see, this is another one where I've got, okay, what do I have here? I think I'm in the wrong spot again. Okay, I gotta figure out where I'm at now. Oh, yeah, I was on the wrong line. I want to be looking at this. I was looking up here. That explains why it all looked wrong. Cautionary accidental on the A note. And cautionary accidental on the F sharp. F natural, good. E flat. F natural. Oh, okay. For just a second there, I thought I was looking at the wrong note again. Super easy to get thrown off from this stuff. Like this one here, like here, you get the F natural. And so we have an F sharp in the key signature. We take it to a natural. So this is an F sharp again, but he's giving the caution. Anytime you pass a bar, you go to a new bar, you go to a new measure and bar are synonyms. It resets your accidentals from previously, but he's given the full info here. So that's what we're doing, because we're crazy like that. And this is kind of a cool thing he did as well. You can see here that these notes and these notes are of different sizes. And he uses this in a couple different ways to indicate emphasis, which I'm kind of what he's doing here. So it's kind of like a more, you've got this chord, so you're being a little more gentle as it moves up. And again, a cool sound. It's just really great how this comes out. That particular set of chords. And it's played fairly quick like this. It's not a slow piece. So yeah, his use of, and these are known as Q size, C-U-E-Q, Q-sized notes. And then in other places, he'll use Q-sized notes to indicate that there should be a particular melodic line. And so he's indicating different size of note heads for emphasis or for his melodic line. And so that's kind of cool. And you can kind of see here on, how he wrote these in. He's got his normal size marks over here. He did his little marks over here. So yeah, pretty well done. This like I said, this is a very, well done, handwritten manuscript. If you look up images, particularly like Beethoven's handwritten manuscripts, they're so hard to interpret. And there are people who have jobs of just interpreting Beethoven manuscripts because they're just such a freaking mess. So I really appreciate how well and thorough someone like Villa-Lobos was on this. And I'm kind of guessing that he was probably a bit of a nerd like me and just really enjoyed doing this kind of stuff. Okay. And I'm just checking here because these get so tight in this area. And again, like this, you can see how, he took this. So these are all Q size notes. And then outside of that, you get the larger ones. So you got this, very cool. Those two measures together just sound so great. This is these measures are the kind that make me want to learn this song. If you get to the right place. Oh. Let me try that again. Very different playing this on an electric guitar. The feel of an electric guitar and the feel of a classical guitar are so wildly different. Okay. Good. All right. I'm going to put a mark on here. That's where we're going next. When it comes down to the same chord shape. Yeah, this is cool. Like I said, this one kind of chunky. I mean, you hear there, it's just chord, just straight 16th notes straight through, but still great chord selections on this stuff. Okay, there's a cautionary we need. Boom. And we're good there. Okay, well, what's happening here? That is an E flat. Oh. Interesting. Now see, this one, it's almost tough to justify that he put the E flat cautionary in there because it's in the same measure. But nonetheless, there he has it. And then that one, yeah, E natural again there. And there, that's when we're working with the open string, exploiting the open strings like this, then, it's not uncommon. We'll have like an E flat in a different octave range. So that's an E up here, E flat there. And pretty wild sounding chords. I totally dig it. Kind of sharp there. Good. Wait, what do we got here? Oh, okay, no, B flat, good. All right, and then this one, the way he wrote this one's kind of wild. Where he took this, saying, this is all the same note, but I'm putting these in different areas because you want to be very specific. This here, I don't know how I would have simulated that in the sheet music, but it's very unnecessary. That having a flat and a natural, having two different accidentals and then two note heads does indicate one of these is the B flat, one is the B natural. His clarity here was probably more than he needed, but it does show his commitment to making sure that you know exactly what he really wanted. And it's pretty cool. Cautionary F sharp there. Cautionary E natural. And good. And again, saving often. And if anyone's wondering about these, the stems of the notes going two different directions, this is known as using multiple voices. It's quite common. And it's usually used to indicate some sort of a rhythmic emphasis, or again, sometimes as a melodic line, a few different ways. Oftentimes it'll be used to say, these notes should be held. Like you might have so that note is ringing while I play these others. So we want that. So that would be in a different voice, is what that would be indicating there. Okay, now we're here. And A natural. Cool. Got the flat and the... Oh, this looks... What am I missing? I'm looking at the wrong note again. So we got E to an E flat. And he's got another one of those splits that I didn't do, but it is still completely accurate. Good. And what do we got here? F sharp, cautionary again. Got, two sharps there. Three, four. I feel like I'm missing something on this. Yeah, definitely not a beginner level piece here. So, some of those chords aren't too bad, but like this one here, that's a bit of a stretch to be able to get that open B string ringing at the same time as this A note here. Okay, I'm gonna get back to. Intriguing. He's got Fiddle around here a little bit. Oops, that did not work. That did not work at all. We will copy it this way. And then okay, we got that, and then we need down here. Okay, yeah, so this one's a little, it takes some looking at. He's saying to use finger 1, 3, and 2. And so that would be on the 3, 5, and 4 respectively, and then saying play these open. It's a pretty cool way he did it, but it takes him, you gotta kind of look at that and be like, what's he looking at? What's he looking for here? But I'm glad I caught that I had missed that part. Got the sharps, the naturals. And we've got a cautionary F sharp here. Cautionary F sharp here. Yeah, this is just like my most popular stream ever. We do got a couple people coming in on Trovo. That's super cool. I don't usually get very much traction on Trovo. It's a pretty cool site. I've had a few people chatting on there, and every once in a while I get these notifications that so and so has popped into the chat, and that's always great. So. But of course, wherever you're coming in from, this is not my usual type of stream. I do composition streams and sheet music streams like this occasionally. Normally I do more of a heavy metal show. You can see my lights back here. I got a whole light set up. And I'll be playing one of my 66 current albums, recording number 67 right now. And pretty happy with the way that's coming out. So this is just kind of a fun thing. And also if you are just coming in perhaps, what I'm working on right now is not my original work. This is by Villa-Lobos. This is a transcription of his 12 etudes from 1928 that I had a few years ago put into my sheet music program here. And then I'm just going through and doing some kind of final edits on it, getting in some cautionary accidentals, and I found a couple of small things that I got slightly wrong, so that's good. And it's probably the most boring thing you could possibly imagine. So there's but it might be boring, but at least it's dull. So yeah, if you think that this is totally not your kind of thing at all, you may want to stop back in some other time and see what else I've got going on, because this is not representative of what I generally do. I really enjoy just fiddling with sheet music. I think it's freaking awesome. But I can appreciate why most people aren't into the kind of completely boring stuff that I do. All right. There's that. Which way? Wait, oh, no. Yep. I'm looking at that right. 2, 4. Yep. Good. Half notes. Good. Got it. Oh, good. And he has an additional cautionary accidental on the B natural. I am here. That good. 7. Yep. Cool. Craziness. All right. Harmonics. And he is indicating a cautionary natural on the B again. Which that one, because it's a harmonic, again, I would say that's a fairly unnecessary one, because you're not going to mistakenly do or accidentally do a B flat harmonic, because you're going to hit fret 12. That's the only place to do that harmonic. So I feel like some of what he did here is somewhat overzealous on the caution. Or what are actually referred to as cautionary accidentals. But we're gonna do justice to it. I think we're just about at the end of this etude. And that's clear, and oh, and I did miss a, what's it? Where is the thing? Oh, I am on. I'm not sure why that's happening, but let's do it this way. View the keypad. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. This little guy right here. We want to put, oh, no. And, oh, also no. Oh, I think part of the problem is that, there we go, that's what we want it to look like. Cool. And that is more appropriate for what we got going on. And that was, okay, the end of number 4. Moving on to 5 here. Cool. All right. And this again, I was talking a little while ago about the cue size notes versus the normal size notes. It's a great example of that, where he's, in this case, Villa-Lobos was not looking for, at least as I understand it, he was not looking for this to be a difference in emphasis, but saying that this here, the cue size notes, So he's basically setting that up as the theme of this entire piece. And so you can see that that continues to go, and it gets really hidden inside of some of the other work. So he's showing with these cue-sized notes that this is continuing to be the melodic theme throughout this, even though it's getting kind of subsumed inside of these other harmonic ideas. And this one, as I recall playing through it, it starts to get, it's got some very challenging fingerings, but also it's very challenging to continue to say, here's that melody, here's that original line, amidst all of this other stuff. This one I would have to really practice the crap out of to get this right. Really, really nice piece. And I can have the computer play it. So yeah, it's really cool, but definitely a challenge. And now I'm just randomly opening up other programs that don't need to be open, and I don't know what's going on, because that again is very much my normal state of being, is to be completely clueless. Okay, so let's start looking through here, just editing on along. And initially here, not actually seeing many things here. Any accidentals? Just a few things that he did his sheet music a little different, and and so like here he's got this diagonal, and I can do that in here, but sometimes that's just the difference between handwritten sheet music and print type sheet music. I don't really think it's certainly not necessary. And for that, it doesn't actually mean anything different. So in this, I would default to the standard that's set here. And like this, where he's got his stems on the cue size notes going upward, I think most publishers would agree downward makes more sense. The sheet music program got it right here. Again, difference between handwritten and print version, because that really what your stem direction is about clarity. And he probably just felt it made a little more sense the way he was seeing it. But in print, I would definitely say that I think this is a better way to do it. Now just trying to find my spot again. Okay, good. And this one is so much easier to follow than what we saw with number 4, because that number 4 with all of those block chords doing 16th notes is just so visually busy. So much going on with that. And where am I at here? Oh, got it. Okay, looking good with all that. Here. Cool. Okay, now we're starting to get some accidentals. Let's see if we've missed any cautionaries here. That's the end of this page. Boom. Looking good. And, you know, and one thing with handwritten, sometimes you look at a note and you're like, wait, that looks like it's a G sharp in there. I've got an F sharp. It's like, no, okay, no, that's an F sharp. Kind of gotta look at it a little closer. Even as well written as this particular handwritten sheet music is, still not the easiest to interpret. That's there, okay. Oh, it's like there we've got a, wait a minute. Oh, okay, yeah, no, that's our key signature is C major, A minor. Again, I would call this one an A minor piece, most likely, just from looking at it. And so that is a cautionary, F natural. My brain was kind of still in E minor mode. Looking good there. Okay, here we got a couple of E and B cautionary naturals. Good. That's beginning of the second line. Good. Okay. Like this too. This is something I'm not sure if this is more of an kind of an older tradition. Generally, when you have a note tied to another note, you don't put the accidental on, even though it has crossed over. It's understood that this is the same note, that this accidental carries over with the tie. But again, Villa-Lobos in this particular handwritten manuscript, very, very careful about his cautionaries. I'm curious as to why this one has a parentheses around it, because he has not done that in most places. But let's see, I think I can make that happen. So that does it around the whole note. I don't want that. Oh, probably. Okay, so we've got a B natural. Oh, you got to be in the right spot for that. We've got a B natural here. Oh, why? There we got it. Okay. And then this B flat is in a different voice. And I think that's why he put the parenthesis on that. And I'm curious about how I can get this in parenthesis in this program. I'm gonna take a note of this one. I think that might take a bit of research to get that part figured out. So, etude 5 measure. What measure are we on here? 27. Parenthetic. Come on, little Randy. Parenthetical cautionary. Oh, that's a great term. Parenthetical cautionary accidental. That's cool. Got a note taken. I'll look that up later. And that happens in 2 measures in a row. Okay, wait, now why? Oh, I gotta make sure I'm looking at the right spot. Oh, I'm not. Okay. That reoriented. Got all these tenuto marks. This just means to make sure that that note gets its full length. And probably because of just the way the fingers are moving in here. He's saying, hey, don't move too soon or I will punch you in the face. I think that's what he means by that. But he won't, because he's still dead. I don't think his condition will be changing anytime soon, from what I understand. Okay. Looking good. Gonna have a B natural on that one. Oh, okay. And here, am I showing my, let's take a look at my layout marks. So I may have to force this one to stay here. So I'm seeing that particular, like I said, I feel like there are some places where this will mess up my formatting, and that is going to do more than I want it to. So this has to become a new page. Now let's see if we get, oh no, so I'm gonna have to force this to stay together as a unit. That's in the layout. Make into system. There we go. All right. And I'll have to make sure I pull these layout marks up again when I do my non-tablature version of it. Because I like the way the formatting is for this version with the tablature. And pushing that to a new page will just kind of mess with some of that stuff. Okay, now let me get back to there and finish up this line. Okay, so we are 2 noodle marks. And then 1, 2, 3. Yep, okay, that's where we're at. We are here. And that is here. Okay, and then, so again, I feel like some of this is a little bit overkill, but he's got the B natural here, the B flat here in a different voice, and then reiterating again that this is a B natural, not a B flat. It does make it very clear what he was going after in this case. And there's often a question of composer's intent that comes up a lot. I've got one particular student who has had this whole composer's intent question come up many times. She's in several different choirs. And the interesting thing about composer's intent is that when the Max Eschig group published the 12 etudes in 1953, as I said when I first got on the stream, there were parts of it that were like, this doesn't seem like it makes sense. And Eschig would not answer anything about it. They would give no information about what manuscripts they worked off of or anything. And then in 1991, Max Eschig group published a new version of the 12 etudes. By this time, Villa-Lobos had passed, and they changed some things in the etudes, but many of the same questions still remained. And so it's like, okay, wait a minute, this stuff still doesn't make sense. And then, again, I think it was the early 2000s, someone found this manuscript, and it's like, this makes sense. These things add up now. It doesn't seem like there's just missing information all of a sudden. And so, yeah, just as we can see here, Villa-Lobos himself was very clear. But then we can ask the question, what happened between 1928 when he signed this manuscript and 1953 when Escher Group made their first publication? Do we know that this was Villa-Lobos' only copy? Did Villa-Lobos himself make any changes in that time? It's perfectly reasonable to say that as composers, we would continue to fiddle with our compositions indefinitely if we didn't have some sort of a deadline. So could Villa-Lobos have changed these things? Yeah, he could have. We don't know whether or not he did. We do know that he was extremely busy, because in that time frame, he became a very well-known musician, and he was doing a lot of tours, and I believe mostly through Europe, but I could be wrong about that. He was a Spanish gentleman himself. He did some scoring for films, so he had a lot of stuff going on. And would that have given him time to be able to do these things? Really hard to know. Really hard to know. Got some cautionaries here. So, it's a great example of when people say, well, they'll be looking at a piece of sheet music and talking about the composer's intent. And it's a great example of how we really don't know what the composer's intent was. Sometimes what we're looking at may be what the publisher thought should have been the composer's intent. Not liking the way this particular accidental's jumping off to the side here, but we should be able to fix that. Yeah, sometimes we just gotta drag it to where we want it. All right, and I think we're gonna have to do the same thing right over here. These things here jumping around, that's not too big of a deal. Well, I would now. What if I could put them in there? That would make a little more sense. That. And these forte marks, put those back down to where they were. And where am I here? So his was this is a little closer to his than my original was. And then we also have these cautionaries here, same thing. Natural. Yeah, I don't like where it's putting that, but we'll force it. Oh. Definitely saving that. All right, where are we at here? Oh, wait. Okay, no, you know what? This one did not have the cautionaries on it. Only the first one did. I'm just going to Control Z out of that. There we go. And good. Looking good there. Next page is that measure. Oh, and we're not set up for the page to flip correctly. There we go. Polka Rallentando. RALL, RAL, is short for rallentando, which is a slowing down. So it'll be rallentando, retardando. Villa-Lobos also used allegrando a bit. Those are all different words that mean slow down. Okay, now that's interesting. I've got a cautionary in here that he didn't. That's a surprise. I'm going to pull that back out because I want it to be like what he did. And now we're here. Got a natural cautionary on that. And, oh, whoa. Ah, see, this is why we do the editing. Because I've got some wrong, okay, let me make sure I'm looking at the right spot. And I'm going to zoom in here. And we're looking right here. So I'm going to zoom in there. Okay. Oh, I got this way off the mark. Okay, so this, I've got an E. Villa-Lobos had an F. I've got an E here, and he had a G natural. And then this should be a D natural. So that changes things around. Interesting. Oh, yeah. What do we got here? I'm kind of surprised he didn't put some finger indicators on this one. Okay. Wow. Yeah, I had that way off the mark. Wonkiness. Cool. That's why we edit. Get this stuff right, kids. Okay, saving that. That was funky. Let's get this back to standard size. Boom. And this, okay, he's got a G sharp instead. Wait a minute. Wait. F sharp instead of G flat. So again, that doesn't change the actual note. That's all four of these. Okay, so that's good. Interesting. All right, E flat, good. And he's giving us a cautionary on the B note and the A note. Craziness. And now we're here. And that is here. I did mention earlier this one was easier to follow with a number 4, but it is. But it's getting a little more challenging in this area to follow along with this one. Sharp, flat, natural. Two more naturals. And then we're at the odd tempo 1A. Right. These all four of those have cautionaries on them. Again, we'll have to modify that one to sit reasonably well. There we go. Saving again. That saving often thing is something I learned very early in my project doing realm of life. I was up at Riverside Studios working late at night, and I had been working for about 4 hours, 3.5, 4 hours, and had not saved anything. I was working on the Mental Floss trilogy for my first album. Power went out. 4 hours of work down the drain. So I brought, the power came back. I brought the system up, and that's it. You just kind of gotta deal with it. It's the way it works. But I have not done that again. I make sure to save often. One of the better pieces of advice is you can get in pretty much any creative realm. Anywhere that you can save, you probably should. All right. We're here. Another thing Villa-Lobos did on this that maybe could have been somewhat more clear is he indicates this as, with this small circle, indicates an open string. This exact same symbol can be used to indicate harmonic, and he does use that for both. And that symbol used as a harmonic is much more common in strings, violin, viola, cello, contrabass type stuff. Much more common there than it is on guitar, but it definitely works on any stringed instruments. That F natural cautionary in there. And I notice he also is using the open string indicator here, so let's modify that back up. Okay, I don't want to do it that way. I think I'm using yeah, okay, I was doing this differently. I'm using the symbol thing. So let's just put that up there. I like that. That good. That one's good. B, A flat. Open string. A natural. Oh, now I'm doing this wrong. There we go. That is, where am I at here? Where is little Randy at? Okay, so we are here now. Boom. Good, good. And it looks like as we're nearing the end of this, he is using fewer and fewer accidentals again, so this part is easy. Diminish poco a poco allargato. So it's saying to diminish, which is to get poco a poco is little by little, so diminish is going to be to go lower in volume. Allargato is slowing down. and then doing a rallentendo where he's going to slow down even more. And then got all this wonkiness. This is all about these harmonics that he wants hit. Very cool. Okay. Whew. Number 6. There are 12 of them. That's why it's known as the 12 etudes. I know, crazy how he comes up with this stuff. And I think I'm probably going to sign off at this point because I'm going to take a break. That was quite a bit of sheet music that I just did there. And I will continue to work on this. And we'll see where it leads us. But yeah, for anybody who was out there watching, thank you very much. I am the Mad Poet. You are an audience. We are the Mad Poet Society. Always good to be here. Most likely tomorrow I will be doing a concert stream. More normal type of stuff. And possibly I will be doing a working on a guitar stream tomorrow, but probably I'll just do a show. And we'll see what goes on from there. So yes, Villa-Lobos. Everyone should go check out Villa-Lobos because it's awesome stuff. Until the next time, I will see you